Hello everyone, welcome to the first episode of the Metal Antics podcast. I'm joined today by Isaiah, Michael, and the vocalist of Monument Memory.
What up?
How's it going?
What's up, man? What's up, guys?
Hey, how's everyone doing?
So I said vocalist because you're just the vocalist now.
I'm just the vocalist now.
Straight up vocalist.
Yeah, no longer doing the drumming and the clean, so that's pretty nice, I gotta say.
Focus on just one of them.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. Is that like difficult doing two things at once?
Well, pretty much what happened was, I mean, like, I was always a singer, so they were like, when our screamer couldn't sing, they were like, all right, who here can sing? And it was like, all right, Dylan's the only one who can sing, and it's like, but he plays drums. He's like, you think you can, like, under oath that shit? And I was like, well, I mean, I guess we don't really have much of an option, so.
Like the dude from Betrayed.
Yeah, dude, that guy's fucking sick, to be honest. But, yeah, so it kind of just went from there, and then I just got used to it, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's a learning curve, but
Nice.
it's definitely better than
exhausting live.
Dude, it fucking sucked live. It was the worst. I hated it.
I always find it funny because I feel like the singer is like supposed to be the front man, but how does it feel being like you're the drummer, you're the farthest back,
Yeah.
and you're the singer? You're supposed to be right up there, but you're not.
Does
it feel any type of way?
I feel like it just kind of takes away from the experience, if I'm being honest. Like, because it never felt like I was a front man, even though I was doing like a good amount of the vocals like live. But like, it's just not the same because I was so focused on drumming at the same time that it's like it felt like I had a million things going on. I had like click tracks running in my ears, and then I'm like doing vocals, but I'm also trying to stay on time drumming and doing good with that. So I never really got to like think about it or like really have fun with it. I was like, I was like, oh, here comes the singing part. Like, yeah.
So they're not like super easy songs. They're
no,
there's some fast songs.
Oh yeah, I know. Dude, they fucking love the fast shit. My guitar player used to write at 1,000,000 miles an hour. I was like, yo, just fucking relax. Like,
yeah, so you guys got some new stuff coming out soon?
Yes. I mean, how soon is what I don't know.
Like tomorrow.
Dude, I swear I wish it was. Well, pretty much what's happening is we have a complete full-length album, 10 songs we did with Ricky Armelino from Ice Nine Kills. Tracked it, having it mixed and mastered with like him and his team up in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And for those who don't know, it's not Lancaster, it's Lancaster because he will say something.
Oh really?
Yeah, right. That's what I was like. I was like, who gives a shit? I was like, I'm
LA.
going home today. Anyway. No, but so we have that. We have 3 music videos currently done that we're waiting on. We're just kind of going through like like a process of like maybe talking with management and potential labels and stuff about like what the next step would be, because we just don't want to drop it while we're kind of in the middle of this, because that's just not smart.
So, you can't really put a tour out like that.
Yeah, so we just have like a whole lot coming down, but like we have to like just sit here for a bit and be patient about it while it's all going down. But yeah, so I do all the vocals, the screaming, and the singing now. So that's cool. And then, yeah, this is definitely our best music, so it's sick.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, it's fucking sick. I'm not even trying to toot my own horn, but it's sick.
So, how much did, like, COVID end up affecting the band?
So, we actually had a West Coast tour planned for the summer. It was supposed to start in July, but then COVID fucking happened. And that pretty much ruined everything. Tour got canceled, obviously, like every other tour in America and the world. But, I mean, honestly, it's just made it easier to be more productive, like, with online stuff and, like, being able to, like, really go back to the studio and, like, refine everything and do these videos, because I think if shows and touring were still happening for us, we wouldn't have been able to effectively, do everything the way that we've been doing it. So it just, like, allowed a lot more time to, like, do a lot of behind-the-scenes shit.
Yeah, a lot more time to focus on things.
Yeah.
You're more there.
Yeah, because there's so much more beyond, like, shows. Like, honestly, I think people think that performing live is, like, the most important part, but I completely think, like, the online part of it and the marketing and business behind, like, shit that's not live shows is more important.
Oh yeah, at the end of the day, is a business.
Yeah, you're supposed to treat it like a business, but like, don't get me wrong, like playing locally and like all that and like playing shows is like it's good for your band, I think, especially when you're first starting, like just for the initial exposure. But I feel like as you keep going, I feel like there's no point in driving out to a state that you've never played before to play to like 25 people, when you could really just target online advertising and a lot of shit like to make people from that area like you without even you having to go there. And then once you build that following, now it's more worth it to go play those places, because playing to 10 people is not how you grow a band.
You gotta get a fan base.
It just doesn't work that way, especially when you have the internet. I'm like, dude, I can literally make the same amount of fans sitting at home drinking a beer as I can driving there to make no money and perform.
Lose money.
Lose money. Yeah.
Everything's on the internet now, so it's so good to promote there.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I mean, like, playing live is always awesome. But, like, it's like you gotta play smart, because, like, if you just play every show you possibly can, like, I've seen bands grow and never, like, you know, Shadow of Intent, for example. They never played a show and they already had a massive fan base, you know? So that's just one example. Don't get me wrong, that's like an exceptional example, but it's just like the point that I'm trying to make, that like there's a lot of like ways to build a fan base.
Yeah, there are a lot of bands I've seen that are popular just from they've never played a live show
online
before.
Infinite Annihilator.
Infinite Annihilator.
Yeah, right.
Never played a single show.
You know, like Spotify and like all those things, like people just get added to playlists, like big ones. Like it's happened to us. We got put on a new core, which is like, I don't know how many followers, like 400 something thousand. So when we dropped our last EP, Ex Mortis, Cold Eyes, we just got emailed by them like, yeah, it's going on the playlist, and we were like, fuck yeah. So like hundreds, yeah, dude, like that was like a big song for us. Like that shit's almost at 1 million streams on Spotify, so it's pretty cool. So yeah, I don't know. There's just like a lot of ways to grow your brand, but I feel like ever since the COVID thing has happened, like we've been a lot more like conscious of like the online part of things, because that's really the only way bands are able to do really anything anymore.
Yeah, like you could play Dingbats 100 times to the same fans and you're not growing anything.
Man, I loved that venue. Why did they have to go and like, I don't know, let Nazis play or whatever? I forgot. Like that was like so fucking stupid.
Yeah,
I used to
my
love
band
that
was supposed
venue.
to play a show there back in June with who was it? Dog Fashion Disco.
Okay.
And it got canceled. Then it got moved to October. It got canceled again. So now we're hoping for 2021.
Dude, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not trying to be a pessimist, but I don't even think 2021's happening. I think a lot of people are thinking it's going
a lot
to.
of people are
Yeah, some people are saying it's going to be like 3 years before people can perform again. It's crazy.
I see 2022, but like we're in the like, it's like the numbers are the highest they've ever been.
Yeah.
For COVID, so it's kind of like.
Yeah, it's not
I don't know.
better.
It's not looking good.
Yeah,
like I don't know what makes people think that like it's gonna be clear by like spring. Like that's no.
Just gonna walk
It's
that
just
shit
not. And even if it is, it's gonna be like what 25% capacity, and who wants to play a show at 1/4 the capacity it could possibly be? Local shows already suck half the time.
Yeah.
So I mean, like at 25% capacity, that's just not good.
So I'm going for 125 people. Like,
Yeah,
come on.
dude, straight up. Like the cap's like 200. Like, oh yeah, you can have 1/4 of that. Fuck that. Like, that's
right?
trash.
There was like this music festival, and they tried to do it where they had everyone in these little cubes and boxes.
Like those sword balls that you fight in and stuff. At, like, the beach.
it's like a little
like a
seating
tent.
area, like
Yeah.
a tent. It's
It's a
dumb.
tent that goes around
Yeah.
you.
Dude,
You
you know
just put
what?
it on like an outfit.
Points for creativity.
Yeah.
I'll let him
Yeah.
have that.
But
you know what? Whatever.
It's better to wait it out and then get it full eventually than just keep going little by little up. And like it takes 4 years to get back to where we were.
Yeah,
the market's gonna be so destroyed and damaged.
Dude, the industry is going to. It already has, but it's going to continue to suffer a lot. Like a lot. And that's one thing that I've been worried about. Like, there are bands that just they relied on touring, like for income. Like not everyone is Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande. Love them, by the way. But like the smaller tier bands or mid-tier bands, like I don't see how long they're going to sustain just on the income that they have. Frankly, some of these bands, I'm shocked that they've made it this long, because it's already been like a year.
I know a lot of bands rely on like merch sales too. That's like a big thing. That's why you go there and a t-shirt's $50 because it goes to like 20 different people, just that $50, and the band doesn't get any of it.
Well,
basically.
yeah. Well, people think that like if your merch is like $50, like oh, such conceited assholes. Like oh, they think their brand's so big that like they charge $60. I'm like
people will bullshit over the quality and stuff, not realizing that this shirt costs this much because how much like work is going into the shirt and good material, all that.
That, but also like for a touring band, like the team, and then like venues get a cut of the merch. Their manager or their tour manager gets a cut of the merch. There's like so many people on their team like that have to get paid before the band does, and then the band is another 4 or 5 guys.
Yeah,
like,
so it's just getting split up so many
so
times.
you ain't making shit, so you have to make it kind of more expensive. And you know what? People still buy it. So you know what? For all the haters, like people still buy it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, if you love a band, you're gonna buy their merch, even if it's ridiculously like say it's a high price. It's just people gotta understand it, because like you said, when people see the price, they're just thinking, oh, they probably think they're the shit. That's why their price is so high, but they don't get everybody still has to get paid.
Yeah,
it's not just
everyone
the band.
gets a cut.
It's like triple the band amount of people that have to end up getting paid.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's
Yeah,
not easy.
my pitfall is I just get like way too drunk at a concert, and then I just wind up buying way too much shit. And I wake up the next day, I'm like, I fucked up. Like I'm
Why
like,
did I buy 5 different shirts?
yeah, it's like, I did not need their
How did I end
entire
up with their whole
merch table.
discography?
Yeah, straight up. That's how, that happened. Do you guys know that band Traders?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, I know Traders.
so they did that like, oh, we're breaking up. Like, so I went to their farewell tour. I bought so much of their shit, and 2 months later, they were like, we just couldn't stay away. I'm like,
Oh, yes, I remember them posting that.
yeah, I was literally like, you couldn't be gone long enough to like actually miss it that much. Like, I was like, I mean, whatever. I like the band, and I've hung out with them. They're cool dudes, but they did that, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's like when Ozzy goes on his farewell tour 12 times.
Yeah, it's just like, it's like, all right, yeah. So now, if Traders ever does that again, I'm gonna be like, I don't believe you. But
I'm still gonna buy your merch.
yeah.
I don't believe you.
They do have sick merch, though.
Yeah.
They're cool dudes. I've actually hung out with them like a couple times, like just like in passing. They like to smoke weed, so that's no secret. But yeah.
So, like, how'd you get into the band, basically?
How did I get in?
Yeah.
Oh man. So I was like 16, and I went to high school with one of our old guitar players, and then their screamer at the time was like a sophomore, and I was a junior in high school, so I was a little older than him. But they put out a song, and like no one in my school listened to like metal, and at the time like that was like all I was obsessed with was like metal and like heavy shit. So when I saw that, I'm like, oh shit, like a kid from my school like screams, and then like we have a metal guitar player in our school, so I kind of just like reached out because I kind of knew the guitar player like a little bit, like just from like high school, and pretty much I just hit him up and was like, yo, dope song, whatever, and he was like, oh, we should hang out sometime. So we did, and then I wound up meeting the whole band like that very same night, and we just kind of became like mad cool from there. And it just wasn't working out with the drummer they had at the time. He just like wasn't that tight, and I had obviously been a drummer, and pretty much the vocalist I became like super tight with. We were hanging out like every day, so he pretty much like convinced the dude. She's like, yo, this kid's the fucking dude. Like, let's just do it. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't. but yeah, one day at a practice, the drummer left early, and I was just chilling there, and he was like, he had already been prepping me before. He's like, yo, learn this song for our next practice. I'm not gonna say shit to the guys, but you're just gonna hop on the drum set. And I was like, okay. So I did, and then they were like, okay, yeah. we gotta get rid of this dude. So they got rid of him. Ironically, he lives at my bass player's house now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like everyone's just cool. Like, I mean, that was so long ago now. He has another band. But yeah, that's pretty much how I got in. I was at an Applebees, and they had the waitress tell me, which is really fucking weird. I was like, what? I was like, what are you talking about?
I feel like that's literally like some movie type story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like-
Applebee's?
No. Yeah, Applebee's.
The
no.
Applebee's part. Only
No,
that.
Yeah, just Applebee's. Just the Applebee's full blockbuster movie right there.
Straight up.
But the part, it's just like, yeah, I'm not going to tell them just play drums. Like, I could just see it in the movie, just like they walk in, it's like,
Yeah, it
what is
kinda-
that drums? We need that drummer immediately.
It is kind of what happened. I remember because I went with them to fire their drummer. at the time.
Oh.
And he was like working at a Papa John's, and I'm just looking through like the windshield because I didn't go in, like, and they all just went in, and then there was like just some random girl like in the passenger seat. I'm like, who is this chick? And then like I think it was like some dude or some girl that like one of my bandmates was like hooking up with at the time. I don't even remember, but yeah, I just looked through the window of the Papa John's and I saw the disappointment in his face. It was all body language.
From the band at Papa John's.
I mean, I'd be pretty upset.
Yeah, while he was working his shift at a Papa John's. I'm like,
Oh,
well,
wow.
I was kind of like, damn, y'all can wait. Like,
Yeah,
it was
for
like
real.
during his shift. Like, that sucks. Like, I mean, whatever, hindsight.
It must be miserable working at Papa John's, and then the only hope you have your band, you're so happy about. You're probably at that Papa John's like, yeah, I got a band. And then right when you're probably there, they just come in.
Yeah, you're like,
fucking shitty ass Papa John's. You're just
Yeah, I was literally gonna say-
damn pizzas.
I was literally gonna say, I was like, it's not even good pizza. I was like, this is what I'm left with, this shit. Like, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how I got in, and then just, was always in.
I
So,
bet every pizza you made after that was especially shitty.
oh, definitely, bro.
It's made with love.
Not from Papa John's, it's not.
Absolutely not. No, Papa John's is a racist.
Is he? Is he?
Yeah, he got called on the N-word.
Oh my
Come
god.
on, Papa John, what you
He
doing?
tweeted
Yeah,
for
what's
something.
up with these people? Like, stop getting caught saying the N-word. Like, come on, guys. It's not that hard to avoid. Like, just stop saying it. Like, cause they'll say it in like a context that doesn't even make sense. They just say it just to say it. I'm like, what, you're just trying to fuck yourself? Apparently, Papa John is.
Yeah, you gain nothing from saying it, yet you said it.
Just like,
you're already Papa John. Come on.
Who was the dude from Subway that wound up being like
Jared.
Yeah, he wasn't he like a kid toucher or something?
Yeah.
Like why?
Yeah,
Why
he was
Jared
full
from
on in
Subway?
jail.
Yo, straight up. Straight up. Yeah, that was not. I'm like, what is up with you? Like, everyone who's repping these companies are all like shitty.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's kind of strange because they know how to pick them. They know how to pick these
Yeah, they
people
really
that are gonna do
do.
some stupid shit.
I'm like, you don't even get a dude who's just kind of a dick. Like, I could handle that. I'm like, you get someone doing some really fucked up shit. We got Jared from Subway. Like, I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much how I got into the band. Yeah.
Word. So, give me your craziest tour story.
Oh God.
Local show story, tour, whatever. Lay it on me.
Fuck. There's so many bad ones.
Oh, here,
Okay.
What was your first show like, basically?
My first show?
Yeah.
It was shit. It was actually
Oh, yeah?
it was at Dingbats, but the show was horrible. Nothing worth talking about. That's for sure. It felt like a practice show. It's
yeah.
really shitty. Wait, hold on. Okay, wait. I actually have a good one. All right. So, me and the band, we had a hotel room, and we're hanging
That's a
out.
great way to start.
Yeah, it's always a great way. So, we're all getting like drunk or whatever, and we're in the lobby, and this girl starts flirting with my brother, and he's kind of uncomfortable because he has a girlfriend at the time, so he's like, oh shit, like I don't know what to do. This girl kind of like just wouldn't leave us alone. So I don't remember how this happened, but my bass player was sick in the hotel room. Like he was like trying to sleep, like he felt like shit. So we all come up, and this girl like comes with us, and so I guess her cousin thought that we were like gonna do something like bad, like you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
But like we weren't, like we were just like, I mean, you can hang out if you want. Like, so we're all like drinking, but we had like at the time I was underage. Like I was like for alcohol I was like probably like 18, and yeah, but and we had I guess like weed in the room or whatever. So this girl comes up, and I guess her cousin got worried, so she sent security up to the room. So then security came and like swept the room. My bass player's like trying to hide under the blanket.
Shit.
So we're like, oh fuck. We did wind up getting away with it, and I'm pretty sure she tried to give my brother her number or something. But that was just kind of a cool story. I don't know. It was hilarious to be honest.
You could have been arrested on multiple things.
Which we weren't doing anything, but I do realize now how it looked really bad. But like we were genuinely just like chilling,
Reflecting.
Like I'm pretty sure like me and my brother had girlfriends at that time, so like we were just chilling. Like this girl just kind of wouldn't fuck off. She was really drunk, but yeah, that
Did
was.
you know you were in a band? Is that why, or just because?
I don't know. I think
Maybe
just
it was a
cause.
groupie and she just didn't mention it.
Yeah, I mean, we've had like a bunch of crazy stories. I mean, like, honestly, like, a lot of it just involves alcohol. Like, just and a lot of it. So sometimes...
Every great story.
Huh?
That's how you start every great story.
Oh, dude.
Hold my beer.
Yo, straight up, no story ever starts with a fucking salad. That's for sure.
Yeah, you're not lying about that.
It's always
Hey,
it's
man,
always
one time
some
me and my boys were drinking, and it always just
yeah,
goes like that.
like
Yeah.
me and the dudes in the band, we like to weed. We definitely like to party. People definitely kind of like, anyone who knows us kind of considered us kind of like a party band. We've kind of chilled out like a little bit, like since, I mean, a little bit. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, we turn up on the weekends, but like, yeah, when we were on the road, it kind of like, we've done like 2-week, 3-week tours where it was like, yo, I can't drink this many days in a row. So it kind of, especially when it's like, you don't even get a good night's sleep. You're like sleeping in the fucking van. Like, that ain't good. And then it's like, we have a show the next day and someone has to drive to the next show and everyone's hungover. Like, it's just trash. Especially when it was like the summer. I was like, this is the worst. Like, I want to go home.
Jammed in that bus, sweating
Yeah.
here.
Dude, it was gnarly. Well, my problem is I don't really drink beer because I'm always on a diet because I'm always trying to stay thin. So I drink a lot of hard liquor, which in turn is even worse. So I get like really fucking drunk. So yeah,
You
I
drink
don't
less
know.
and you feel shittier.
Ah, dude, I know. And then that's the problem is I just drink again the next day because I'm like, well, you know, like if I drink more, I won't feel so shitty. Like, so there you go.
Temptus.
If I'm drunk again, it will cancel out the hangover.
It really does though. That's not a lie. Although that's no way to live your life because that's how you wind up with a problem. Like, oh
Wow,
god.
science has just figured out alcohol is the cure to a hangover.
Yeah, right. It's like you
Fuck
guys.
coffee, just
no,
down
yeah.
another
No
one.
one put this into consideration. Has anyone ever thought to just drink again? I know I have.
And it works, I promise.
It does work,
It's
but
like gambling yourself out of debt.
yeah, right. Yeah, it's literally a perfect comparison.
Oh, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You have like a single favorite show or a tour that
Um,
sticks out?
As far as a show, oh fuck. All right, I'm gonna go between two because these two were so good. Us opening for Parkway Drive at Starland Ballroom in 2016. That was absolutely insane. There was over 1,000 people for us.
Oh wow.
It was crazy. Sold a bunch of merch. Hung out with some of the dudes in the bands. That was sick. And also at the time, I had just began dating my well, now ex-girlfriend, but girlfriend at the time for like a week. So that's her first impression of me. She literally goes like, she was like, I thought you were in like a huge band or something, and I just like wasn't aware
Just
of
wait till
it.
next week. We'll forget Dingbats.
Yeah, really. Yeah, that's when she was like, "Oh, got it. Never mind." But that, and then we did Weed and Boys. That was the name of the show at Gramercy Theater, and the dude from Nuclear Blast came to like check us out because our vocalist at the time, his dad was a mastering engineer at Sterling Sound, and he like knew the guy, so he had him come to the show and like watch us, and I was like, oh shit, and the pressure was legit. But there was like 600 kids there, and that was absolutely insane. So yeah, probably those two shows.
What were the other bands on the Parkway Drive show? Anyone notable?
Counterparts played right after us.
Oh wow.
It was us, Counterparts, maybe Stick to Your Guns, and then Parkway. Yeah, I think we were the only local, which was sick.
That's nice.
That was
Sounds
really
like
sick.
A fucking sick ass show.
Dude, it was
Yeah, that's dope.
honestly, I can't believe we even got that show. I don't know how we did, especially because Parkway Drive just does not need that support.
Yeah.
Like, that show was sold out, and I doubt it had anything to do
They
with
could have
us.
played the show with no support.
Yeah, it was
They sold
absolutely
out,
insane,
yeah.
dude. Like, only local. I don't know how we got it, but like, I'm not mad about it.
But speaking about your favorite shows, what are shows that you would dream to play? Like, what are bands that you would dream to open for, or open for you, or just play with one day?
Well, I can't speak for who would open for me because I ain't there yet.
What?
I am an opener until I earn those stripes. But who would I want to open for? I mean, I don't know. Can I say unrealistic people as of right now?
Yeah, say
Any
whatever
band.
you want, man.
It's your
Britney
dream.
Spears if you like.
Bring Me the Horizon, Slipknot, Lamb of God, Avenged Sevenfold, and
My favorite.
fuck it, Justin Bieber. I'd open for that dude in a second. I love his music, no shame.
Honestly,
How
And
many
also,
things
people
come
be
with
so
those?
confused. Yeah, right. It'd be so
I feel like if
confusing.
anybody shoots down that offer from Justin Bieber, you just have
You're
a
an
problem.
idiot. You're an idiot.
Justin Bieber, how can you say no?
Which, dude, honestly, okay. So there's one thing that really bothers me about like metalheads and like metal elitists, and is that there's such an unwillingness to like collab or do anything with anything that's popular in mainstream culture. Like I think bands like Bring Me the Horizon are killing it because they're like, oh, let's get someone like Youngblood on our track, or like, you know, they're willing to like genre bend and do shit like that's not like. I don't think it's interesting for a metalcore band to go like, let's get the singer of Fit for a King to scream over our breakdown. I'm like, why? You could have just screamed over it. Like, it doesn't make the song any better in my opinion. Now, imagine you're a metal band and you go, yo, let's get Lady Gaga on this fucking shit. Dude, I'd be so inclined to listen to that because I just need to know what the fuck that would sound like.
If they didn't fuck it up, I think it was at the Grammys a few years ago when Lady Gaga played
Metallica?
It would have been like one of the best Grammy like performances ever.
It was sick. I mean, honestly, it wasn't her fault. It was the sound dude or whoever forgot to fucking turn on James Hetfield's mic, I guess.
Switch, dude. Come on.
Dude, it was like ridiculous. Like I was like, dude, this is Metallica. You don't fuck that up, all right? But yeah, I don't know. That's like one problem that I see in like the metal culture and why I feel like the genre isn't doing as well as it used to. You used to have bands like Memphis Mayfire charting like top 10 on Billboard 200, and now that's completely overtaken by like pop and rap music, which is fine because I like pop and rap music too. But like the problem is people don't want to put themselves in a more mainstream like imagine if you're a heavy band but you're willing to collab with people who are like just more popular in the mainstream culture, like the shit you'd hear at a frat party.
Now it's known as selling out.
Yeah, which is bullshit because I don't see how it's better for your favorite type of music. Because we all obviously like you grew up on metal, so like, you know, I don't see why you just would rather let your favorite genre die because you're just stubborn about the fact. It's like people complain about the new Machine Gun Kelly album. It's like a pop punk record. I'm like, dude, that's sick. I was like, finally a guitar music record went number one. When's the last time that fucking happened? I don't remember that happened. And now people will go like, oh fuck it, the song sucks. It's like, who fucking cares if you like the songs or not? If it hit number one, that's already just good for the rock genre, period. So it doesn't matter if you don't have to like the album, like that's just personal preference. But but that's totally good for rock music, and I don't see why that's a problem, and I don't see why metalheads are like the worst with that, like with like accepting anything that like is remotely I don't understand that. I've never been that person to be like, nah dude, fuck it because it's pop. I'm like, yo, fuck you, Ariana Grande's got a voice. Like,
I feel like when I was younger, that's how I was for metal. Like
I
when
feel like
Bring Me the
everyone
Horizon first changed, I was like a heavy hater. But once I feel like a few years ago, I went back and listened to it, and I was like, you know, this isn't that bad.
No, it's not.
And mixing genres, like you said, has already been proven to work. Look at Linkin Park and Jay-Z.
Dude,
that was huge.
One of the most influential bands of our entire generation.
And you still got like rock and metal artists like collabing with rappers. Like you got Corey Taylor on his new album, CMF team.
Yep.
Must Be Stopped.
With Tech Nine.
Tech Nine and that other dude. I forgot his name.
Yeah, I forgot his name. It was Tech Nine. Tech Nine's the guy. and the other dude. I just don't think that the genre is going to get any better because it's it's substantially declined in. Here's the problem. All right, I'm going to go off on like a tiny tangent.
All right, let's go.
Okay. The problem, in my opinion, with the metalcore, especially that subgenre, like the core subgenre, like deathcore and metalcore, is that it's so many bands that are all doing the exact same fucking thing. Every single band sounds exactly the same. So whenever someone comes up to me now and goes like, you have to check out this band, they're super dope, and it's like in the metalcore scene, I'll literally listen to it. I'm like, it literally sounds like 50 other bands that I've listened to. Like, it doesn't sound like original. And I think the problem is, I think people are going to have to start moving away, like, from the core genre, because it's so oversaturated at this point that I don't see how new bands are going to, like, grow and become the next headliners. Because, like, all those bands, like, you know, the Asking Alexandrias and the, you know, the bands that, like, we grew up with in, like, the Warped Tour scene that, like, got big. Like, dude, there's no new bands that are going to, like, start headlining that. Like, that's just not, unless you change your sound. Because I just don't see metalcore being as feasible of a genre anymore. It just doesn't feel like there's enough new substance coming into the genre. It feels like a lot of the same a lot of the time. And some bands are doing well, but, like, I just don't see it being able to sustain an entire career. Like, and it's been proven because all these bands that you used to see charting in the top 10s are now, like, not charting at all. or charting low, and like I don't know, man. Like now at this point, to even see like a really heavy record chart in like the top 50 anymore is like really difficult. That doesn't happen very often.
Oh, yeah.
It's just I feel like everything has like changed very drastically over the past like I'd say like 5 years or so, and I don't know that it's gonna get better. I feel like people need to start accepting that like maybe like you can't all do the same sound because it's just.
It's really funny that you said that exactly because I was going to ask you how you feel because I feel like the metalcore and the core genre in general has just been declining in popularity. I was
very much.
Sounds like everything just sounds the same now. Like me myself, my whole life I've been listening to metal and everything.
Yep.
But recently I found myself like I listen to it less now
so do
because
I.
of so many
things
that just it
I've
feels
been
like I'm listening
like
to
a
the
lot
same
of rap
band.
music,
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I've been listening. Dude, literally, if I pulled up my Spotify right now, straight up, it's like all pop and alternative artists, and then like you'll see like the occasional metal band or something.
Yeah.
Because it's not like I don't listen to it, but it's like it's gotten so stale for me. And the thing is, it's weird because I'm like in a metal band, so whenever people get in my car, they like expect to just hear me play metal, and then I'm like, yo, y'all check out that new Halsey record. Shit slap. Like it's fucking dope. Shout out Halsey, I love you. But I don't know. Like I feel like even like with my own band and like this album that we have, like don't get me wrong, it's still a metal album. Definitely has more singing than it did in the past, but it's not. It doesn't sound like we're trying to sound like someone. Like okay, the most ripped off band in metalcore right now is straight up Architects. Like every band wants to be Architects in the worst way. It's just down tuned to drop G, play a groovy down tuned riff, screaming with high pitched singing vocals for a chorus. It's such an overdone formula. Why don't you try singing on the verse? Why don't you try singing in parts that like? Well, I don't get the whole scream the verses, sing the chorus. Like it gets very like redundant, and I feel like when a metalcore album comes out, it gives me way less incentive to want to listen to the whole record because I'm like, why? I already heard the record in like 2 songs. I don't need to listen to the rest of it, which is a problem. I think every song should sound different, and I think on our album that is one thing that we did accomplish. Every song sounds very different from the others. We have songs that like. We have a song that could get on active rock radio, and then we also have a song that's like a weird Egyptian-y sounding thing. Then we have one that's kind of like bordering on sounding like Lamb of God, thrashy one. Like we just kind of go all over the place with it. We have an acoustic song on the album. Like we did our best to make it's still a heavy record, but it has so much like going on that I don't feel like you'd get bored of it. You know what I mean? And this is not a shot to like any of like the metalcore bands or like anything like that. Like I still love metalcore, and it's not that I think that those artists are bad. It's just that I think from a financial and business standpoint that it's not going to be feasible because you're not going to be like what makes you think your band is going to be at the top of the game. I was like, the bands are already at the top of the game. Architects is already at the top of the game. Bring Me the Horizon is already at the top of the game. So don't try to sound like them because you're not going to be as popular as them because they did it first.
Yeah, they all came up with their own sound, sounding special. So why would any band, like anyone, want to hear the same thing as them?
But this is what happens. This is what happens to every band or subgenre. Like you had like Attack, and then like every band wanted to be Attack, and then that got oversaturated, and then everyone was like, all right, fuck this. And especially with the way Spotify and the internet and how much music is out there now, there's absolutely zero. I have no incentive to give a shit about an artist because I have Discover on Spotify, and if you don't grab me like that in like 5 seconds, I'm already done with you and moved on to the next artist. Yeah. And that's not me being a dick. That's just how everyone does it now. And I don't know. I'm just being real, dude, because I've just seen a lot of like, I don't know. I think people are really blind to like how it actually is versus what they think it is. Like how, and it's the same thing like when people go like, oh, like this person's the best because he can do the lowest low. I'm like, what? Like, okay. To me, like that doesn't really, I don't know. I feel like people are like, some people are like too easily impressed or something who listen to metal, or like they only listen to it for like the breakdowns or something, which is like, dude, listen to a song as a whole, not because a breakdown is heavy. Don't get me wrong, breakdowns are sick. We all like a breakdown, but like I feel like I feel like people like don't look at songs as a whole anymore, and they look at it for like what, like, oh, there's
yeah,
one.
I can't
really...
even count how many times someone said to me, "Yo, listen to this song because it's breakdown."
Yo, dude, the breakdown, bro. Yo, dude, wait for the breakdown. I'm like, if I have to wait for the breakdown to start enjoying this song, then I don't like the song. Like, I don't need a breakdown in a song to enjoy it. Like, I don't know. My taste is really all over the place, so like I can like really take or leave anything because like I have so much music that I listen to that like I have to be impressed like pretty quickly for me to like stay interested. So I mean, no dig at like, dude, first of all, like I have no room to talk because I'm in a metalcore band, but like I do think that we are trying at least to be a little different, and I just think as a whole the genre should just like try to be a bit more innovative, and then maybe there could be some sort of revival or like, you know, back to how it was, you know, because especially with Warped Tour being dead now, like that's been really crippling because that was huge for the metalcore, pop punk, post-hardcore genre, even deathcore and metal. Like, dude, that tour was like everything, and now that that's gone, like now it's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, I remember going to the last Warped Tour and the one stage and Youngblood was there. And then
I love Youngblood.
Another stage, Chelsea Grin's there. Then you got Silverstein, and
that's
then you
sick,
got Dance Gavin Dance. It's so.
Dude, I wish I saw Youngblood.
Subgenres there.
I'm like obsessed with Youngblood.
Did you go to the last one, or you went to that one that was like a beach or something?
Not like that.
Okay,
fake last one, not that money grab one.
Yeah.
Warped Tour shut off like so many people's career. Like I was telling Chris, Youngblood, I remember seeing him at Warped Tour and there was barely any people there. Now he has like
he's massive.
Yeah, he has millions of.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
it's really crazy.
He collabed with.
It's really crazy how you can see that happen right in front of you. Like,
collabed with Bring Me the Horizon. Collabed with Machine Gun Kelly. Has like massive hits already. Like he's just straight up a big artist. He dated Halsey. Like what? You lucky bastard. Like I wish, man. Oh god, I love
Another shout out Halsey.
Dude, shout out Halsey, bro. Like, yo, if Halsey, please listen to this. Oh my god.
Yeah, Warped Tour was so huge for bands. Like, because there's so many bands there. You can just walk around, band could catch your eye, and you're like, you know what, I like them. I'm gonna go follow them on Spotify or something now.
Yeah, it was so quick, and now it's just like that's gone. So now it's like, well, now how do we consume music? Pretty much, and especially with COVID, now it's strictly through Spotify and online. So like, you have to be a band that's kind of making waves to really get recognition on something, or like you just got to be doing something. My whole thing is I'm just gonna keep saying like I just need like bands need to start doing something a little different. Artists like Youngblood are different. Name one artist that sounds like Youngblood. None. This bit, dude. He combines like trap with like hip hop and pop and rock and punk and like what the fuck? Like it's crazy, but it's dope.
Like that song he has over in the Horizon, Obey.
Sick.
It's kind of a heavier song, I guess you could say.
Gives me like a heavier Linkin Park vibe, kind of.
Yeah, seriously, yeah.
But he can kind of like do anything, like, and that's to me that when I listen to one song, I'm like, okay, now what's this gonna be like? Because he has a song, so like his new album, he's been promoting. He's put out a bunch of singles. He had a single called Strawberry Lipstick, which was just a straight up punk rock song, like straight up punk rock. And then like the next song was straight up just synth pop. And it was like, what the fuck? Like it's so like the contrast is so different between that, and that makes it interesting. That makes me want to keep listening to more because I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna get on the next song.
Yeah, like what's gonna be next? You never know.
And that's what you want. That's why Bring Me the Horizon is also like that. You hear their new record?
Oh my god,
dude! Every song sounds completely different though. Every song.
You really like that one with the baby metal though, right?
Oh,
dude, how could you not? That's
that
probably that's debatably the best song on the record.
How can you hate baby metal?
Yeah, I don't know how. They're so catchy, bro. I just want to catch a Pokemon. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just, there's a lot of shit that's gone on, especially in the metal and rock community, that just feels very, like, I don't know. I think bands need to start thinking outside the box now. Like, stop trying to fit in. Like, just do something different. The bands that do something different always do better. Mm-hmm. At least from what I can see.
And if you look at it now, everybody who's blown up in any type genre, rap or anything, is always experimental. And metal, like you were saying with the elitists, it's like metal doesn't want to switch. Metal sounded the same for basically almost my whole life.
Yeah.
And that's why it hasn't grown, because it's always sounded the same. It's nothing out there where someone will go out there and tweet it like with someone who just blew up like Mario Judah, where they'll be like, oh, this person, oh yeah, they won't throw it up there because you're experimenting. Yeah. That's how you get that fame.
Exactly.
You have to experiment with something new.
And pop artists, and I've noticed, and this has been kind of a thing like happening lately, is the fact that they are starting to collab with rock and metal artists, and the rock and metal artists are smart enough to actually, buy into that, because I fucking would. Are you kidding me? Dude, if someone was like, yo, you can get Youngblood on your track, I'd be like, absolutely, I'd take that over any metalcore singer. Any metalcore singer. Literally, no matter who you named. Because I know that would turn more heads.
Yeah, it brings his side, and then your fans look at his fans.
Because it's a whole new dynamic. I don't need a screamer to scream on my song that I'm already screaming on.
Yeah, I can do
that doesn't make it. I don't feel like that makes a song any better. It gives me no incentive to listen to it. It's like, oh, he screams on this breakdown. I'm like, so? That doesn't, add a new dynamic. Well, I like when features add, a whole different dynamic to a song. That. I never liked, the throwaway collabs where it's like, all right, so you're a metalcore band that got a metalcore dude on your metalcore track. It just, doesn't feel that interesting to me, personally.
I don't know if you could tell, but we love metalcore so much.
It's like metalcore. And I'm like, all right, yo, I love metalcore too, no doubt. I definitely bump a metalcore song or two on the way up here. But I don't know, man. I think there's some people who are a little too invested in one subgenre of it. Yeah. It's a little ridiculous, but I mean, to each their own. Everyone has their own taste.
Definitely a couple bands that sound like Absolutely Dying out there.
I love that band. I can't even. If you find those bands, can you let me know who they are? Because I would totally listen. I'd listen to that. I'd listen to that personally. That's just a personal thing now. But there was a million bands that also copied Absolutely Dying, but I'm less mad about that one. I love Absolutely Dying. I'll take those ripoffs.
You ever listen to Austrian Death Machine?
Oh yeah. Well, that's just a side project.
Yeah. Basically Absolutely Dying, but.
Yeah.
More Arnold-y.
More Arnold. Yeah. To the chopper. It's fucking, yeah. No, it's cool. It's kind of crossover-y thrash, which, it is pretty much just Absolutely Dying, but a little funnier. But, yeah, I don't know. A lot of shit going on in this.
So there's this one song off, I think it was your guys' second album, and Will's on it. Did that have any play into him getting into the band at some point?
Not really. We that just kind of happened just because we were it was a heavier track and we were already friends with him. So cuz I've known Will for probably 5 years, 6 years. So cuz he was in a band called Secrets Don't Sleep and we had played a show with them. And I had seen and heard about them because Brian Stars premiered one of their videos back in the day.
Just talking about Brian Stars before.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we can talk about Brian Stars in a bit. So we just kind of knew him. We were it's a heavier track. We want heavier vocals. So that just kind of happened. That really had no part in it. The whole thing with when we got Will was just pretty much, we knew him. We knew he was a sick vocalist, and he didn't have a band at the time. So we were let's ask him. Because we knew if we were going to replace a vocalist, it had to be with someone, substantial. It couldn't just be some random dude. It had to be someone that we wanted it to be someone who had a name already. So, and he did because he had Awaken Providence that had a few songs that did really well. So yeah, I don't know. There wasn't really a connection with that though. But yeah.
Got anything? Monkey got anything?
I don't have anything really band wise. Yeah.
Ask anything.
All right. What do you think? You play video games or anything, man?
Yeah, sometimes.
All right.
If not too busy.
How you feeling? PS4, Xbox, what
I used to be an OD Xbox dude, and then when the 360 was out, so I was all about the Xbox. But when it came to Xbox
PS5.
One and PS4, I don't know. I like the PlayStation, to be honest. Gotcha. I have a PlayStation 4, so
PS5.
Maybe when I have the money for that shit. I'll probably wait a while, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. I usually wait 6 months to a year after it comes out before I actually buy it, because there's still a bunch of games that they'll put out on the PlayStation. So I'll just like ride it out until it's like just totally a dead platform. Like I'll have like an iPhone for like way longer than I should. Like, and it'll be like 4 models later. Like, you know what I mean?
I had an iPhone 6 for like a long time, man.
iPhone 6 till 2 months ago.
Yeah. True.
Oh man, yo, dude, straight up, yeah. I had an iPhone 7, and then I just upgraded to an iPhone X like literally, I don't know, about 6 months ago or something. So yeah, I'm a newbie also. I'm with you.
I'm waiting for the 12 to come out, and then I'll get the 11.
I feel like it just like doesn't matter. I feel like the upgrade's always like, so the camera's a little better.
Yeah,
I'm like, my
we got
camera's
6
fucking
cameras
fine.
this time.
I'm like, my camera's fine.
How long to the whole back of your phone is just cameras?
Yo, literally, bro.
They make
It's
phone
always
cases like
it
that.
has a slightly better screen.
We got Foot ID now. You step on it and you get open your phone.
It's ridiculous.
Spit on your phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
DNA test.
Yeah, I used to be an OD gamer nerd when I was like 13, 14. Like, I was like ridiculous. Like,
What
I
games?
Battlefield, Call of Duty. I was super into survival horror video games. Silent Hill.
I'm playing Silent Hill 2 right now.
Oh, the remake?
It's
The remake?
Yeah, I'm playing the HD collection.
Oh, dude, I love HD collection. That's what I thought you meant. Yeah,
I was
Silent Hill
playing
2
right
and 3.
before I came.
Oh, dude, it's so fun. It's such a fucking creepy game.
Yeah, it's so
terrifying.
old and it's like
It's still
just
good.
It's not even.
It's just
it's
eerie,
just the
man.
atmosphere. It
That-
creeps you out so much, and it just the way the game looks. It just feels old, and it drags you in the town. It just it's so
that's
good.
literally what it is. It's not about jump scares. They literally
No.
let you know because you have that
Yeah,
walkie-talkie.
yeah, you
so
got
it makes
the
a
radio.
static when you know an enemy's near. So it doesn't even make it like horrifying. Like, oh, I don't know what's gonna be around the corner. It's like, no, you'll know. There's gonna be an enemy. It's just the atmosphere and like the dreariness of that whole game. It's like I'm fucking depressed, man.
Yeah, for real.
And the game fucks with you so much. It's like, is it the town or is my character going crazy? Actually, like
Yeah.
it's impossible to tell.
And it was the same thing with games like Amnesia.
Yeah.
Fuck that game. I can't even play it.
Yeah.
I literally can't. I can't do it.
Yeah, I've never
I
actually gotten
watched
around to
PewDiePie
playing
play
it.
it.
Don't.
Scared of it.
Don't do it.
PewDiePie,
It's
yeah.
fucking.
Yeah, Watch
Dude.
PewDiePie play as a
Outlast.
kid.
Once you
never
see
again.
that sanity meter go down, you're like, oh no.
Some
What do you
shit's
got?
gonna go down.
Dead Space. That
Oh,
game was
good.
fun.
Yeah,
that
Dead
game
Space
feels
is
more
very good.
actiony though. That game never like really scared me. I was just kind of
Dead
like,
Space 1 is probably the scariest to me.
yeah,
Like,
that
the
game
rest of
was
them are-
definitely scarier than like. I didn't really like 3. It felt like just a straight up like Tom Cruise movie.
Me and Michael are playing 3.
It's like it's all right. It's
love it, though.
dude, 1 and 2 are just way better. In
3
my
is
opinion.
so terrible. Like
It's-
we're doing it right now, and we did the same mission twice in a row. It's a side mission.
Yeah.
They just changed the story. It's
Which
so
I don't
lazy.
really like that either. I'm like, Dead Space shouldn't have side quests. Like
Yeah.
what? Like it was always a linear game and it totally worked.
Yeah,
but
that game is just lazy.
also the RE2 remake, Resident Evil. Yo, fuck yeah, that
Yeah.
shit was fire.
Yeah.
I didn't play the third one with Nemesis, but I'm sure it's also fire.
The third one's good too.
Yeah, it's really good, but it's kind of short.
Yeah, I feel like the second one's probably still better.
Yeah.
You ever play Doom?
Yes, I play not like the original, but like Doom 3 on the original Xbox. I had played, so I know the game. Also, fun fact: new Bring Me the Horizon album. They got the dude who did the soundtrack to Doom to do like
Mick Gordon?
Yeah, Mick Gordon. Yeah,
That guy is a beast.
yeah. He co-produced with Bring Me on their newest album. That's why it sounds so video gamey at times.
Oh,
Oh.
I was saying that. I was like, yo.
Like Kingslayer sounds so video like it's like such a video game.
It sounds like the beginning of like BFG Division.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's because he co-produced with them.
That's pretty
crazy.
cool.
Yeah, fun
It's
fact.
such a good soundtrack, especially the newest
Oh, yeah.
one.
It's insane.
Oh, it's so fucking good.
Yeah, it's so sick.
Doom Eternal.
Yeah, Doom
Yeah,
Eternal's soundtrack is so good. The songs they have, it's just amazing. That's like the only game I've ever seen on release day. I saw that the soundtrack songs had more views than like the actual gameplay. Like
Yeah, no,
people
it's
were just
insane.
talking about how if you have good headphones while you're in there playing, it's so action packed and just the metal in the background, it gets you in there. So
Oh, I
much.
believe it. Yeah, 100%.
It's
I haven't
weird
played it, but
that like metal is like not as big as it was in like mainstream. Like if you played like Madden 04, you got like Avenged Sevenfold in there. You got
oh yeah,
Treyu.
dude, I had that shit. Yeah.
But now it's just like it's all rap and stuff. And there's nothing bad about that. But
No.
you want to mix up the genres.
Yeah, but see, I don't know who to blame for that though. Who do we blame for that? You know,
We
is
asked
it
Madden.
is it
Just gotta ask Madden.
is it the yeah right? Just be like, yo, dude,
Call
what the
John
fuck?
Madden right now.
Like, do we blame like the rock and metal genre for that, for not being as relevant as it is? as it was, because back in 04, like, dude, 2000s, there's plenty of rock bands and metal bands that were huge.
Also, MTV was a big factor,
MTV.
too.
I think a lot of things were out of our hands with stuff like that, because I think that there were a lot more platforms that rock and metal artists were able to, you know, promote their brands, where I think things like the Grammys are like completely fucked because they put all their focus into the pop and R&B hip hop world, and then like they don't even air the rock and metal stuff on TV. Like, fuck you, dude. Like, that's bullshit. Like, I don't understand why that doesn't get any exposure. So for that, I can't blame the rock or metal genre for that. There's like a lot of things that I feel like TV and like mainstream media has kind of taken away from the genre, when like that's bullshit. Like, you know, why does every other genre get like, even country gets an insane amount of exposure, like just as much as pop, and you know, it's like, why? Just because it's like a little more extreme. Like, even if it wasn't heavy metal, even bands like if they were repping like heavier Linkin Parks or something, or even like Bring Me the Horizon, like they could do that, but like they just choose not to. I don't know. It's kind of fucked.
In this Grammy coming up, there's the rock pop album. There's not a single rock artist on it.
Yeah, I know, dude. Their definition for rock is like really strange. Like they'll be like,
oh, there's a bass in it.
Yeah, yo, literally.
I feel like they think they're gonna scare people or something.
They'll be like, best rock album, D12. I'm like, what?
Yeah, like everyone was talking about the Doja Cat thing, how she did like.
Yeah, I heard that. I actually watched that today.
She did a heavy metal cover. Everybody on Twitter, and then I saw like metal artists were retweeting it, and it was like, people need to stop calling anything with a guitar metal. Like,
yo, straight up. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was like a nice little head nod. Like that was cool of her, and I actually did watch it. It was pretty sick. But yeah, I feel like people like very easily categorize it's like, oh, it's metal. It's like, why? Because the guitar was slightly distorted. Like, right. I was like, it really wasn't. I mean, it wasn't like not metal to me. Like it was definitely just like heavier rock, in my opinion. But like it definitely had like little metal like aspects. So I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, I feel like it's cool when like artists like in the mainstream are super into like metal and stuff, and they kind of promote it with their platform, because it does bring over that audience. And don't get me wrong, there's some people who will just never like it. They're just into the frat party music, and that's all they'll ever like, and that's fine, like whatever. But for me, like, I've always just been all over the place with my music. Like, I just find like that it stays way more interesting, and I can appreciate songs a lot more when I'm like if I don't listen to metal for a while and I'm like bumping some Ariana, I'll come back to it and I'll be like, oh, now it hits so fucking hard.
Yeah. Like, going back to metal after not listening to it is the best.
Oh, it's the
feeling.
best, bro. Because if I just listen to metal, I'll be like, all right, I'm bored now. But like, yo, I come back to that after listening to some like, you know, female fronted like pop music. That sounded really shitty. I shouldn't have said female. Don't ever say female fronted. That was not what I meant. Okay.
Just a band.
But you know what I mean, like, you know, like some synthy pop with like a cute girl singing over it, back to like just heavy ass metal. I'm like, yeah, there we go.
It's like Poppy you showed me.
Yeah. Oh, she's pretty cool.
Yeah, she has that.
I didn't even know
song.
she made music.
I disagree. Is it that?
I don't remember. Is it that song?
I disagree. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's the one I like from her.
I don't remember which one Chris showed me. We were in the car, and it was just her singing, and it goes to heavy ass metal.
Yeah, she's
Scary
weird,
Master's
man.
good.
Have you ever seen an interview with her? She's
like a robot.
She's fucking weird.
She'll start off on YouTube.
Like, I don't want to know her.
She has a video of her just saying, "I'm Poppy" for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm Poppy.
It's like, cool, I got it the first
She's
second.
like, I don't know if it's a persona thing or if this chick's like actually fucking crazy.
It has to be a persona, definitely.
I hope so.
So you think if like, what if she just walked up to her in real life and she talks like that?
She
like,
probably would. Because she
dude,
doesn't,
that
like,
would be
personally know
so
me.
fucking weird.
I'd feel terrible. I feel like I'm talking to her.
I feel like she
doll.
does. I can't imagine her being like, oh yeah, what's up? Like, she just, oh, it's so weird.
It's like, I'm Poppy.
It's so strange. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I guess it's good for branding, but is it? Because I think her brand is like not having a personality, but I feel like people connect to personalities, which is like kind of, I mean, I don't know, it's kind of working for her. So I guess like, fuck it. I have no room to talk.
She's one of those cool like bridge the gap people for like pop and metal. Like, 'cause she went from like, she had like a pop album or something like that before.
Yeah.
And now she's like,
Then she
had,
added
like,
that
one
metal.
deathcore song. Like, it was, I don't remember. It was like Bite Your Own Teeth, and it had like some deathcore breakdown in it. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's fucking dope.
No, that's sick. But that's genre bending stuff. That's cool. Like, I like that stuff. What else? I mean, then you have like bands like Issues, fucking rest in peace, because Tyler Carter really had to go.
Yeah.
Tyler Carter really had to go and fuck it up.
Yeah, Tyler Carter ruined that one.
First they lost their screamer, then they lost their then Tyler Carter.
I mean, I could have lived with them losing their screamer, but like
I think
the Tyler Carter thing really tainted it. Huh?
I think the bassist does everything now. Skylar Accord.
What do you mean? Like he's doing vocals now?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna go.
I remember hearing their cover of "Boyfriend" by Justin Bieber. I thought that fucking slapped so hard.
I haven't heard it, but I like the
Oh,
song.
it's like one
I
of the
like
best
the song
pop
"Boyfriend" by
songs
Justin
ever.
Bieber.
Is
So.
Pop Pop dead?
I don't know.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's definitely done.
It's done.
It's done.
Bro,
Done up.
Pop Goes Punk is now just Our Last Night covers. Which is totally fine. I love Our Last Night's covers.
yeah.
I actually think they're sick.
Yeah,
I,
they're really good.
I never had a problem with Our Last Night. I know why people were like, oh, they just did it to make money. I'm like, is that a bad thing? Like, who gives a fuck?
It's not a
Like,
crime.
it's really not. Like, I don't know. Like,
Remember
what?
they had Punk Goes Crunk too? They had
Yeah. Yup. There was that.
man.
I remember like the popular one that I remember hearing growing up was Since You've Been Gone, Day to Remember.
Yeah,
Which was
Always.
really dope actually. And then what was Still Fly, Devil Wears Prada.
I don't know that one.
Oh, dude, you should fucking listen to it. It's
I
it's
got-
probably
I got-
on their top 5 on Spotify.
Oh, really?
I bet it is. Like, well, it might not be, but like it should be.
There are some bands where their punk goes pop stuff is like at their number 1 or something.
Yeah, I know, because their original music sucks.
Yeah.
if your number 1 song is a Pop Goes Punk cover, like, damn, your original music really wasn't carrying much, was it?
If you're better at doing someone else's music, you got an issue.
But that's why I think it became popular, because it was literally like a lot of bands used it because like, oh, now I don't have to like write a good song. I already have a good song. Now I
Yeah.
just have to make it metal.
Perform it good.
Yeah, now I just got to
Make it
make it
gentle.
metal. Yeah, just make it. Yeah, exactly.
Just down tune this.
Like you already have like tight vocal melodies. Like now it's like, yeah, now we just choose which parts will like scream or whatever. So
How do you
yeah,
put a breakdown in "Toxic" by Britney Spears?
I don't know, but you can apparently. I've seen it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of covers of that one.
Yeah, Our Last Night did that one too.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah, they'd fucking cover everything.
Yeah, I was about to say they probably got everything down.
Yeah, dude. Any new song that you're like, yeah, song's blowing up. I'm like, guarantee they did it. Like, at least for the most part, they're pretty on point with their shit. So I gotta give them props where props is due. I've seen Our Last Night live. They were pretty fucking dope. I was like, yeah, they're sick. And also a girl I used to date when I was like 17 was like super obsessed with them. So I like was forced to get into them. And then I was like, oh, they're actually pretty sick. So I like them. I'll open for you Our Last Night. I don't give a fuck what anyone says about the cover thing. That is so like irrelevant to me because Our Last Night makes way more money than like most of these fucking bands, and
seriously.
and they barely tour, bro. They tour like twice a year, if that. They never tour, and they make so much bread.
Oh yeah, they make.
I follow
one
all of
bang.
them. I follow them all. The fucking main singer, Trevor, has fucking 2 kids, a wife, and like a dope house and a dope car, and they have a studio that's like legit as fuck. I'm like, all right, so this band makes money. So no hate for them for the covers. I'm not much of a hater. I feel like I just don't. It's weird because literally I feel like I've hated on the metal genre more than I have, which is like fucked up because I'm in a metal band. But it's like it's not hate. It's just guys, we gotta get our shit together. Like, I want this genre to thrive, so stop being stubborn. So that's really it. I don't know.
Yeah, like I noticed that, like a lot of my friends who don't listen to metal, they'll listen to like some stuff like "Spit It Out" by Slipknot. I got a buddy listen to rap mostly. He's a rapper himself. He loves "Spit It Out" by Slipknot.
Well, it has some fucking hot bars.
Oh yeah, and because like a lot of these like SoundCloud rappers, they sample metal.
Yeah, they
like
do,
X
yeah.
has done "Spit It Out."
Juice WRLD. Juice WRLD did "Tears Don't Fall."
Yeah, Lil Peep did "Unholy Confessions" by Avenged
Did he really?
Lil Peep did a lot. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Lil Peep did some,
He did "Today I
Co-
Saw the Whole World."
Yeah.
A lot of those like emo rappers, so to speak, they took a lot of influence from like the Warped Tour, like
Yeah,
post-hardcore
100%.
scene and stuff. So they actually did get a lot of influence from that, and also even the way they looked, you could tell. I'm like, you were a scene kid.
Oh, okay.
And we're back.
Yeah.
I like how he did. He goes, and we're back. ASMR, that shit, like.
That's how you keep them in.
Oh, yeah.
They hear the silence. They're like, "What?" And then Chris's sexy voice just comes.
Take a sip
and
of
we're
your
back.
soda on the mic.
And we're back.
Yeah. Give him a little more ASMR. Some Chris ASMR.
There you go.
I'm sorry, that's
Smoke
fucking
fan.
disgusting. Oh, 100%.
Oh, I hate people chewing loud in my ear. If that was me listening to this, which I probably will, I'm gonna lose my mind.
You ever,
And for myself.
you
Yeah,
ever
what
have,
is this gonna be like, where are we gonna be able to find this?
You can find it on YouTube.
On YouTube first, yeah.
YouTube
we have
first,
to
and then we're gonna get it to Spotify and
Fuck yeah.
Apple Music.
I always listen to
Apple
podcasts on
Podcasts.
Spotify, so definitely Spotify.
Yeah, we'll get it there just for you.
Thank you.
Only make it available for you.
Yeah, straight up. It's a private link.
Dylan's playlist.
Yeah, it's just the one podcast. I was like, I love hearing myself talk.
We're gonna ISO your vocals.
Yeah, straight up. I feel like I'm gonna listen to my voice and I'm gonna be like, oh, it's such an annoying talking voice.
That's why I feel. I hear myself in like a mic, and I'm just like, you know what? I hate my voice.
Yeah,
I feel like that's everybody.
Yeah, everyone says that. Like, they'll be like, yeah, you sound different when like you're over the phone compared to in person, or like. So I can only imagine that translates onto podcast as well.
Yeah, it's like, I hate my voice so much. I'm just
You hear your voice differently, like through your ears, than you'll actually hear it on. That sounds stupid.
I know. Well, that is true though. I
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
you're saying. I'll do that. I'll like do like a voice memo, and I'll be like, ew.
Ew.
I thought that sounded way better.
That was me.
Yeah, straight
My
up.
voice.
Oh man.
That's
Yeah.
not me. Who is this?
But speaking of your voice, you do a bunch of covers now, right?
Yeah.
I heard you covered Teardrops by Bring the Horizon.
Yes,
That was a
I
banger.
did. Thank you. Yeah, no, I got a bunch more coming, dude. I'm recording like 3 this week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they're gonna be all over the board. One's gonna be a straight up like pop song. One's gonna be a straight up heavy banger, like just screaming stuff. And then probably some like middle ground in between both or something. So I just want to do something like all over the board, like just throw people off, like hit them with some Justin Bieber and then hit them with like The Slaughter Prevail or some shit. So yeah.
Shadow of Intent.
Shout out, God, I'm not even gonna lie, I couldn't pull that off.
Yeah, that guy,
I'm
that
not
guy's a
gonna.
monster.
Yeah, I can't do that shit. Straight up, like I mean, I could do some heavy vocals, but Ben Durham shit, I'm just not touching that. Like that just wouldn't even go. I don't know. I wouldn't feel confident about that one. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm still kind of picking out the songs. I have one that I know that I'm gonna do, but I'm not going to tell you.
Secret, top secret.
Ooh.
Yeah. They're all gonna be all over the place though. And I'm gonna probably drop them sporadically throughout the next couple weeks or whatever. So it's gonna be pretty cool, I guess. Yeah.
When you guys dropped the, well, not when you dropped, when I heard the Elizabeth cover, I sent it to Chris because your vocals immediately, like, the highs, it reminded me of type like Dance Gavin Dance.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of my favorite bands, and I just loved it immediately. As soon as I heard it,
John
I was
Messes.
Yeah, it's like it reminded me of that, and then there was one part of your cleans that kind of, I told Chris it sounded like Johnny Craig a little bit. Like
Oh,
a
dude,
tiny
don't
bit.
put me on that pedestal.
Yeah, I'm
bro.
sorry, yeah. I was really going to
Johnny
say,
Craig's
I'm sorry
ridiculous,
I'm
bro.
sorry to compare you to him, because I know his history. God, I'm
Oh no, I mean we're just comparing voices.
Yeah, voices.
It's like, you know, because you stole a
You're after
MacBook.
Johnny Craig.
Yeah.
It's like
you are Johnny Craig, I'm sorry.
It's like you're Johnny Craig, you know, because you scammed all those people over that MacBook. Yeah. It's like, wait, what? I didn't do that.
Oh, man, Johnny Craig. That's
Yeah,
the whole story.
he's a character. I mean, you know what, man? He had fucking a lot of drug problems. I don't know what it's like fucking
Yeah,
for,
no.
but I know kind of what it's like for, you know, when you have like those kind of issues, dude. Like nothing else fucking matters. Like I've had fucking like issues with stuff like that before. Not heroin, but like, you know, like I've like done shit where it's been like overboard. Like I had at one point, probably during this album cycle, to be honest, there was like a lot of shit going on in my personal life, like failed relationship, bunch of people who had passed away. So it was just like constant partying and shit, and it just like got like way out of fucking hand. You know, I was like at one point like super depressed about a lot of shit that was going on, and then obviously with the COVID thing that made it super depressing, and with you know, waiting on this album and like all the stress that's come with that, like I started popping ecstasy pills like 4 times a week, and then like on the weekends it'd be like, you know, like cocaine and fucking like drinking all throughout. All of that.
You were zooted.
Yeah.
Zooted.
It was straight uppers. I was never a downer person. But yeah, so ever since that, I quit doing that shit now. I haven't done that shit in a while. But yeah, but like, dude, so I kind of understand what it's like, because like that's all you give a fuck about, because like when you're doing that shit constantly, like I could see how it like can make a decent person like a really shitty person. Like it made me shitty at times for sure. Granted, I was never full blown like he was, but with so I can only imagine it was even worse. Plus he was doing heroin, which is I never touched that.
I always feel like it must have played so much worse because he started so many bands just for his own band to end up kicking him out. I feel like that plays a toll.
Oh, dude, and it's not the first band that's kicking him out.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
been kicked out like 3 goddamn times.
Every single band he's made has ended up kicking him out. He's just solo now.
He has to be at this point. Like, I mean, like, whatever works for him. I mean, I hope he's fucking, like, you know, clean. Like, I mean, hope the best, but, like, yeah, dude, he fucked up a lot.
I really thought Slaves was gonna actually like stay a thing, and then nope.
Yeah, out of nowhere, it just was. I was so crazy. I love Slaves.
Yeah.
Well, their new
name?
No. No, they were going to. I don't know if they did.
Yeah, no, I don't think
they put out a new album.
Yeah, because it's not politically correct to say slaves, so they were like, oh, they were going to change it.
Yeah. Which to me was kind of like, come on.
Shackled Brethren.
Could you imagine if they changed the name to that? It'd be like, that sounds worse. Like,
that's the point.
I don't feel like they were getting backlash for their name though, so it felt like kind of
they
like.
Just did it just to do it.
I mean, I guess, but it kind of feels like a little like. Why? Like, I mean, because now rebranding is really hard, especially for a band that's established like that. It's kind of like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't think it's that big of a deal. But I mean, I don't know. I'm sure there's someone who's offended by it out there, but who knows?
Change it just for that one guy.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, I guess times are really different now. A lot of shit's been going on with all that, so yeah. Fucking politics, man. My God. It's just ridiculous.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, I don't even want to. I don't even want to.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that here. No politics.
Yeah, no
Sorry,
politics.
guys.
Sorry. We all know what's right and wrong. All right, like we get it. Like, we're good here. But yeah, no, crazy shit. But yeah, drugs are crazy, man. I don't know. Don't recommend. Smoke a blunt if you must. But
yeah, it's legal here in Jersey now. So yeah, smoke a blunt.
Yeah, smoke a blunt, smoke a joint, fucking drink some beer, no doubt. But avoid the hard drugs. Because that shit will fuck you up. Dare did get it right in school. That shit will definitely catch up to you. It's fun for like a little bit, but then like it becomes really shitty really quick. And I know from experience. So like, don't fucking get caught up in that shit. So I'm happy I'm kind of not fucking doing.
I've never even smoked before. No one believes me.
Yeah.
No, I know people who haven't
Everyone
smoked.
looks
It's not
at me
that
like,
weird.
oh, you smoke? I'm like, no.
Well, I mean, like it's safe to. I don't smoke either. I used to. All right, that's a lie. I smoked last week. but like generally, but that was the first time in like over a year. Like I don't smoke. Like that's just not. Like I told you, I'm not really big into like downers, like things that make me feel like slow. And we just always made me like I don't know how people function on it. Like I couldn't do it. Like I was always like just like the eat and go to sleep kind of stoner.
Oh, okay.
So I just like I don't know, just don't really do it.
Yeah, I used to smoke. I still do, but I used to too. The whole Mitch Hedberg joke.
I smoke cigarettes. That's a problem. I should stop doing that.
At least I had someone come to my job a few days ago and tell me that they fucking smoke coke.
Yeah, tell the whole story. Tell the whole story, please. Tell the whole story.
Okay.
Smoke
So,
coke.
I'm just sitting at work.
Well, explain you were in a smoke shop.
Yeah, okay. I work at a smoke shop, right? So I'm just sitting there. It's just me. I'm alone in the shop whenever I'm there. So I'm just sitting there chilling, and this lady comes in. Like I look at her arm. She has a bunch of like it looks like needle, like she was injecting herself. Her veins look like they're collapsed. I'm like, oh god.
She got track marks.
Yeah.
Drink so many coke.
So
ironically, coke. That worked out.
So then she walks up to me and she just starts talking so slow, like she's high as a kite. I'm like, oh my god. And our bongs are on the floor, so like you gotta bend over to look at them. So she goes to bend over, and she just looks like she's leaning back and forth, like she's about to fall any second.
She's coming down.
And in my head, I'm like, please don't make me have to call the police to like come save this lady. And then I'm just sitting there, and I'm just looking at her as she's looking. She looks at every single bong we own.
Like
And
individually?
Huh?
Like individually, she's
Yes.
like, that one?
Yes,
And that
every
one?
single one. And then we get to these little glass bowls, and she's like, we're at the very end. I'm like, okay, I've showed you everything. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna keep it honest with you. I use these to smoke coke. So which
Who
one
smokes coke?
That's what I thought immediately. And she was like, I need a bowl that when it heats up, it won't shatter because I always break my bowls. And it was just like,
What the fuck, man?
why would you share that with me?
Yeah.
Like, what brings people to think that's okay? And then the best part, I wish I was joking. Not even an hour later, my boss comes in, and I tell him about her, and he's like, yeah, that's normal. You get weird people like that all the time. Some guy walks by, and he's yelling about something. I have no clue what he's yelling about. Straight gibberish. And he opens the store door, and I'm like, okay, my boss is here. Thank God I don't have to deal with this. And he comes in, and he says something about a horse. I didn't catch it. And I'm like, as soon as I heard horse, I was interested immediately. Because this man's yelling gibberish, and now he's talking about a horse. I need to know what he's talking about. So he just yelling again. And I'm like, my boss is just cool with this. He's typing on his laptop. And then he's like, did you see my horse? And at that point, I'm like, what is my boss going to say? This man just asked him, did he see his horse? And this man obviously doesn't own a horse. And my boss goes, nah, man, I tell you every day, if I see it, I'll catch it. And it just blew me away that he answered so casually. And I sat there in like amazement, like I was watching a play. And I was
Two
like,
different languages.
Yeah. and the guy was like, oh man, thank you. You know, I'm still chasing that horse. I can't catch it. And he just starts running.
You're just like, there's no fucking horse, dude.
I didn't want to tell him. I didn't want to break the man's heart.
Nah,
so he just starts running. I look at my boss and I'm like, so I asked him, like, that man doesn't own a horse, right? I'm like, dead ass, that man doesn't own a horse. He's like, nah, of course not. He's
Max
like,
up his. He just ran by.
If you see him the next week on an actual horse, I found it.
I've
Drugs,
seen some
man.
wild shit at that job, bro. Like I was opening one day, I saw a guy carrying a raccoon. He said it was his pet. It's a big fat
Yo,
raccoon.
fun fact, my dad owned a raccoon as a pet when he was a kid, and it was a wild raccoon.
Oh, wow.
He raised it as a baby.
They're cute though.
Yeah, he had to give it away. I kept attacking his brother. Yeah.
Oh,
His name was Dusty.
Not the first time. They kept
Dusty,
doing
right.
it, so they had to eventually give it
Yeah,
away.
and his brother was like 2 years old, so it was like really concerning. You know, kind of dangerous. So yeah.
Yeah, big with rabies is never good.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I'm like, I doubt y'all were responsible enough to make sure that raccoon was okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess it didn't have rabies. They had it for a while.
Yeah, seems to be all right.
Yeah, weird shit.
So, seemed to kept you long enough. You got anything you want to end it on? Any shout outs? Halsey?
Yeah. Shout out Halsey. I was actually supposed to go see her on tour this past summer, and then, you know, COVID fucked me from my love. Check out Halsey's new album. No, just kidding. Check out my band, Monument of a Memory. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everything. We're even on TikTok. And then follow me at Dylan Monument on Instagram, because Instagram is my favorite social media. And then, I don't know. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks
no
for coming,
problem.
Dylan.
All right,
It
man.
was great having you. It was great having you.
For sure.
All right.
Well.
Get out. Not.